I used to think every marriage had secrets. Little things you kept to yourself, nervous habits, private memories, thoughts you didn't want to burden your partner with. But what my wife was hiding wasn't a private habit. It wasn't a childhood trauma. It wasn't even infidelity. It was something bigger, something darker, something I don't think I was ever meant to see. And now that I know, I don't think there's a version of this story where I get to walk away clean. Her name is Lena. We'd been married for 6 years, and for the last 2.5, she'd been going on business trips. At first once a month, then twice, then weekly, sometimes longer than a week. She worked in data security for a private tech firm, so last-minute travel wasn't crazy. She'd get a message, look stressed, pack fast, kiss me, and leave. I trusted her. I believed her. I thought I was being supportive. I was an idiot. Her last trip started like all the others, except she didn't come home after 3 days, like she said. 4 days passed, then 5. She didn't answer calls, didn't return texts. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Her boss, a man I'd only met once at a Christmas event, said she wasn't in the field. He thought she was on vacation with me. I felt the ground tilt. I collapsed right there in my office chair, the phone pressed against my ear. "What do you mean she's not working?" I asked. She told me what, but he cut me off. "She hasn't logged hours in months," he said. "But she's a contractor, so it's not unusual. Did she not tell you?" "No, she didn't tell me anything. Not about this, not about any of it." I tore the house apart looking for clues, checked her drawers, her office, her bags. She always kept a black laptop bag locked. I never touched it. Suddenly that felt stupid. I pried it open with a screwdriver. Inside was nothing that made sense. Not a laptop, not documents, nothing normal. Inside were 7 old-style flip phones, each labeled with a piece of masking tape. North, hotel, Friday, car, safe, old, mother. None of the phones had SIM cards. All of them were clean, too clean, factory reset. But why carry 7 burners? In the bottom of the bag was a small notebook, leather, weathered, the kind detectives in movies used. I opened it in the middle and froze, because on the first line of the page, written in my wife's handwriting, was my full name, and below it, my work schedule, my routines, my routes, times I left, places I stopped, places I didn't even realize she knew about. Then there were notes, strange ones. "He doesn't suspect yet. He's becoming curious. Time is running shorter. If I lose him, the whole thing collapses." Lose me? What did that mean? I kept reading. I couldn't stop. Page after page, documenting my life with an obsessive level of detail. The way I butter my toast. The way I sleep curled to the left. The way I tug my ear when I'm stressed. But further in, the entries changed tone. They turned frantic, paranoid, fragmented. "Shadow on the stairs again. He followed me to the store. He knows about the phones. Do not let him near the basement. He isn't who he thinks he is. I need to find the original before he finds me." What original? Who he? What was she afraid of? I didn't know where she was. I didn't know if she was alive, but I knew I had to find her. Or at least find what she'd been hiding. The basement note stuck in my mind. We barely used that basement. It was too cold, too damp, and the light flickered like a horror movie set. But according to her notebook, she'd been going down there often, sometimes at 2 or 3 a.m. I never once heard her. I went downstairs with my phone flashlight. The moment I stepped off the last stair, something felt wrong, like the air was heavier, colder. The single light bulb flickered weakly above. There was nothing unusual at first glance. Boxes, old furniture, holiday decorations. But then I noticed something odd in the back corner behind a stack of plastic bins. The concrete floor had a hairline crack, in a perfect rectangle. I shoved the bins aside. My heart was pounding. That hairline outline formed a door, a trapdoor. I never knew it existed. There was no handle, but when I pressed on one corner, the slab shifted slightly, just enough for me to wedge my fingers underneath and pull. It lifted, with a dusty sigh. Underneath was a narrow staircase descending into pitch black. The air coming out was colder than the rest of the basement. Sharp, metallic. Something down there was wrong. I went down slowly. The stairs creaked under my weight. My flashlight beam wobbled. The walls were concrete, damp and cracked. I reached the bottom and stepped into a small room I'd never seen before. A hidden room under my own house. It had a table, a lamp, and dozens of photos pinned to the wall. Every photo was of me, sleeping, eating, driving, standing in the hallway, sitting on the couch. Some were taken from angles that didn't make sense, like behind me while I was shaving. Angles that implied someone was in the room with me, and I never realized. But the final row of photos stopped my heart. They weren't of me. They were of someone who looked exactly like me. Same face, same hair, same build, same clothes. But wrong. Too pale, eyes too wide, smile too sharp. Expression empty, and in every shot, he was watching me, standing in places no one should have been standing. Behind the couch, while I was watching TV, in the hallway, while I slept, at the foot of the bed, while my wife lay beside me. But the last photo, the last one made bile rise in my throat. It was me, standing next to my real body, while I slept. That's when I heard a phone buzz. Not mine, not Lena's. One of the burner phones on the table lit up. The screen cracked but glowing. A new message. From a number labeled Friday. The message said, "He's in the house." I nearly dropped the phone. My throat tightened so hard I couldn't breathe. Footsteps sounded above me. Slow, careful, too familiar. The same cadence as my own step. Then another message popped up. "Do not let him see you." A shadow moved at the top of the hidden staircase. I killed my flashlight instantly. My body went rigid, shaking, listening. The footsteps came down the stairs. Slow, heavy. I could hear breathing, my breathing, but it wasn't me. A silhouette appeared in the faint light from the room, my silhouette. And then, in a low, mechanical whisper, it said my name. It didn't shout, it didn't sound angry, it sounded patient. "I know you're down here," it said. "It's time." I backed into the corner. The thing stepped further into the room, and that's when I saw its face. It wasn't a clone, it wasn't a twin, it was a copy. A bad copy. Like someone tried to print a 3D version of me, but messed up the details. The skin was slightly uneven, the smile too smooth, the eyes too glossy, tracking movements with inhuman precision. It reached for me. I ran, blindly, desperately, up the stairs. The thing moved faster than I thought possible, clawing at my shirt, ripping fabric. I slammed the trapdoor shut behind me and threw my entire weight on it. It pounded from below, shaking the floor. I bolted upstairs, out the door, into my car, and drove until I couldn't breathe. I called the police. They searched the house. They found the basement. They found the trapdoor. But the room was empty. The photos were gone. The table gone. The lamp gone. No signs of forced entry. No signs of anything. They asked if I'd been drinking, if I was stressed, if the disappearance of my wife made me imagine things. But that wasn't the worst part. That night, I checked Lena's notebook again. On the very last page was a final entry, dated 3 days before she vanished. "He's learning faster than expected. The copy is unstable. If I disappear, he took me. If he took me, he wants the original next." I haven't slept since. Every shadow feels wrong. Every reflection looks delayed. Every sound in the house makes my heart stop. I haven't told anyone else. Who would believe me? I don't even believe me. But last night, a new email came. Different subject line. "He knows where you are." Underneath it, an attachment. A picture. A picture of me, sleeping. Except I didn't sleep last night. And the version of me in the photo was smiling.